Well, we're still doing different things here on the channel, guys and gals. It is Wednesday, which means we're doing a random video. There's a big giant craze going around with all these fidget spinners, so I figured why not? Let me just show you guys how to make some simple fidget spinners. Stick around to the end and we will do a giveaway as well. So make sure that you watch the entire video. I might ask you a question or two in between to see if you actually watched the video. I just might. I didn't, but yeah. So let's get right into it and get started.
So everybody's quite aware that there's this amazing thing going around. They're called fidget spinners. Everybody wants one. Every store you go in has a fidget spinner. And I'm going to show you how you can make some simple fidget spinners at your house. I'm going to show you a few different versions that you can make. All you need are some bearings. You can get those at a skate shop. There's certain shoe stores in the mall that'll sell them, but they're pretty easy to come by. You probably can get a pack about like this this has, I think, 8, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, has 8 in here, and it was 10 bucks. So it's not that expensive. So you need that. Let's get rid of these guys. These are distracting me. There's too much going on here. I'm gonna move those out of the way. You're gonna need some scissors, some pliers if you want to tighten it up more. And if you have a parent with you, they can use a razor blade to clean it up a little bit better, but otherwise just stick to the scissors. You'll need the bearings, and you'll need some assorted little cable ties. And you can get this at, I think, Home Depot for around 10 bucks. And as you can see, there's a ton of them in here, and which means you're gonna be able to make tons of fidget spinners. We're gonna make a single bearing spinner today. We're gonna make a double bearing spinner today. We're gonna make a tri-bearing spinner today, all right? And that's not all. We're also gonna make a triangle spinner, just like that. And we're gonna finish it up with an amazing 5-bearing spinner. It'll look something similar to this. And that's what we're gonna make today. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys make sure you smash the thumbs up and share this video so everybody else can learn how to make this. So let's see, the first one I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a blue one. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna make a blue one first. We're gonna go with this one right here. And the inside spinner is going to be black. So, simply do this. Fidget spinner 1 done. Look at that. A 1-bearing spinner. Next up, we're going to make a fidget spinner that is a double spin, a 2-bearing spinner. It'll look something similar to this. Right there. That's what we're gonna make. So let's see, we're gonna go with orange. Since we're using an orange bearing, we'll use orange on the outside. Very simple. You just take your zip tie and start a loop, right? Okay, you can hear it starting to click. And you're gonna end up with this little square right here. It's gonna be kind of in the way, it seems like. So what you wanna do is you wanna put that in between bearings if you can, something like that. Some people put them all the way on the end, so it would end up like that. I personally like them more in the middle, so that's where I'm gonna put it at. Handy dandy pliers here. Okay, it's getting there. You can keep tugging on it though. You'll keep hearing it click. The tighter it gets, the better that is for you. If you want to like make that tuck in more, you could actually put a zip tie straight here in the middle to tighten it up even more. So what I'll do is I'll offset this little square just a little bit. Just simply wrap it around the middle and pull the zip tie tight. This is where those needle nose pliers comes in very, very handy, because the tighter you get it, the better the fit. Whenever the boys make these, sometimes they don't quite tighten it up far enough, so I come behind them and make sure I tighten it up. There we go. And then all that's left is to trim. You can either use your scissors, do that, and there you go. You have your double spinner. But I like to clean it up with a razor blade. So make sure you have a parent with you, or have the parent do this if this is a child doing this. Now we're gonna do a Spider-Man color. Here we go, we got this, we'll do this. Spider-Man colors, let's make sure this red one spins good though. Certain things you can do to make sure these bearings don't fall out. You can also run, say, 2 more of these, like so, inside these outside bearings so that it locks the bearings in place, and this is the only one that's kind of loose. So that's what we'll do. We'll make sure this spinner lasts a while for you guys. You're gonna need 2 large glues to make sure you get a nice clean look. You're gonna start these together, zip tie them. So, like so. So you got a little eye looking symbol here. You're gonna set it in there. Try to tighten at the same distance each time you tighten up. You don't want to tighten too much in the beginning when you do these, because you want to make sure that you can tighten the inside pieces right here tighter before you can tighten up the outside. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. Let's see. I like trying to keep them symmetrical and keeping the pieces, the little zip tie blocks, more symmetrical on each side so it keeps the weight dispersed properly. So what I'll do is I'll do this, make a little ring. So it's coming together, you can see right here. We got the 3 bearings in there, and I'm going to go ahead and slide these in a little bit better, tighten and tighten. You want to tighten a little bit at a time on each side just to get the curvature started. Kind of shift it around just a little bit, keeping it centered. Like I said, I like to keep things centered. Alright, so good at that. And like I said, we'll go ahead and clean these up now. I use a razor blade. Should you be using scissors? That would usually complete it right there. It stays pretty tight. It's going to spin pretty good. But we'll go ahead and seal it up a little bit better by using 2 more zip ties. I'm going to use one on this side just to hold this outside bearing in place. This is optional. Like I said, you don't have to do this. I like to try to keep these on the inside track here. As you can see, what you do is you do this, so you don't have that extra little stump sticking out. Okay. Keep it in the center of the bearing. There's that one. And there you have it. There's the 3 bearing spinner. Just like that, simple. Took me maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes to fix that. We've got 3 done now. Moving along. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit more difficult, a little bit tricky. We've got a center bearing, and then we've got 3 that come up of it. And you want to keep these 3 very symmetrical so that it has the nice even flow when it's spinning. All right, so you can get away with this one with doing 2 large zip ties if you wanted to. I'm going to choose to use 3 so that I can have an equal amount of these little zip tie blocks that I was telling you about, because I like keeping things symmetrical. You guys will find that out. We want all these little blocks to fall within the middle sections here, and in order to do that, we've got to create the extra little zip ties. So we're going to use orange for all the extras. Probably going to need, I don't know, we'll count it out when we're done, but you know you want to make these little loops. Okay, go ahead and make a few of these, at least 3. We're going to need more than that eventually, but right now to get started, we need 3. And what happens with this is you're going to take your zip tie, your large zip ties, and make a little round shape. Stick a bearing inside of here and wrap it with this. You don't want it to be too tight, just tight enough so that it sits inside there like that, okay? You don't want to tighten anything up until you're almost done. That's when you start tightening. All right, so let's take this guy over here. We're going to make another loop in between here and stick a bearing inside there and do the same thing, keeping all the zip ties facing the same direction. Okay, and over here we'll do the same. Get another one, place it inside there, and your zip ties are going on the same and facing the same direction. You got to start inching these close. So you want to do that. Trying to keep these big zip tie blocks in the center of the entire thing. All right, so as you get these things tighter and tighter to the center of your bearing, you'll notice that it's very tight. Everything's, like I said, symmetrical. That's the way I like it. Okay. So go ahead and take my pliers, and we're gonna tighten a little bit more. See how many clicks you can get, man. You want to keep going. All right, let's clean this up a little bit now. Okay, looks pretty good, pretty symmetrical, spins nice. And I'm just gonna finish it off by zip tying these outer bearings here to make sure that they stay in place. And I always like to make sure that, like I said, this ends up being on the inside of the bearing. And just like that, we have a tri-spinner. Very nice, very cool. There it is right there. Okay, we got one last fidget spinner. One last. And this one's gonna be the big daddy. Let's see here. Let's find a very good middle spinner. So that's the way it looks this way. And there's how it looks on the other side. And for the color, we're gonna go with, I'm gonna go with some lime green. All right, so this one we're gonna start with a box. We got four large zip ties here. We've got 5 bearings. We want these boxes to end up in these spots here, so we have a diamond like that, right? Let's first we want to go ahead and push these guys into the outside and make the zip ties. So what we're gonna do is, what color should we use? We're going to use, I've used lots of orange and blue. Those are my favorite colors for this. So instead we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna go with pink, okay? We're gonna use all kinds of colors here. We got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You could probably get away with using less, but I'm gonna use this many zip ties. Okay, we got 4 large and 8 small. Start off, we're gonna need to make our little loops. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3 and 4. Looks like we're prepared to make this fidget spinner now. So let's take this, create the loop, zip tie it a little tight. Okay, we got 1 loop. Over here, we're gonna do the same thing, make a loop. All right, so we got them all there. Now let's start sliding bearings in place. With this one, I'm probably gonna go ahead and zip tie the outer bearings in place, because you're gonna get a lot of movement when you're trying to tighten all this up. And it's better if everything just kind of stays in its general spots, right? Take the zip tie on the outside here, wrap it, and go ahead and zip tie that in place. Not super tight now. You don't want to go super tight yet. You're just trying to make sure it stays in its place. Very simple. Okay. So those are all in place now. Now for the fun part. I say fun, but I really don't mean fun. I mean, we want to zip tie these just so that there's probably like I don't know if you can really see this or not, but it's maybe like 1/4 of an inch wide, just so that when it pulls tight, it's gonna be right up against the bearing almost. All right, so now that we're getting these a little bit tighter to the bearing, we're gonna zip it even closer to the bearing, and you're going to slide this through the bearing going towards your inside zip tie, this one, right? And then you're going to bring this together from the inside, all right? So this is locking it close, bringing the entire thing closer together, as you can see here. All right, so now it's time to bring that middle piece in, and we're gonna zip tie everything really tight. It's gonna take a few minutes here to make sure you pull everything tight. All right, so the key here on this particular fidget spinner is your middle bearing has to be tight enough that it can fit in there, right? So that you can change these bearings out, but in the same time, everything else staying symmetrical. So you're not really gonna have it where this bearing just stays locked in there. But that is kind of a good thing, because then you'll have this empty spot that you can always replace if the bearing gets stuck. Say like this bearing right here where it gets stuck, it doesn't move, then you can just plop in another bearing and set it back up and keep going. So I'll make sure that I get this thing all zipped up good, and we'll show you what the finished product looks like here in just a couple seconds. Just clean this up right quick. There you go. It's not the prettiest, it's not the best, but it is kind of cool to know that you could put this many bearings together and make it spin well. Before I send this out to you guys, I'm going to go ahead and lock in these other ones. I'm going to put one more zip tie out here, make it look a little bit nicer, and this will be coming to you guys as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little tutorial I threw together. We're trying to do different type of videos on Wednesdays each week. Our channel has recently gone over a makeover, and we're not doing daily vlogs every single day. This was the first in a series of different how-to videos, but whenever I find something cool that I think's neat and the boys think's neat, then maybe I'll try to build something, or like I've built a pitching mound before. That's something else that I could have done on this channel. We went from a very simple bearing single fidget spinner that's just basically just a bearing with a little knob on the end that you can toss back and forth like that. That's kind of cool. You got the double bearing, it's a little offset. You can sit there and just do this and it'll spin forever. Just keep going and going. And then you got the 3 bearing spinner. It's pretty nice. Got the little Spider-Man colors going there. And then we went up a little bit more difficult. You had to use a couple more zip ties, but a tri-spinner. It turned out very nice, spins well. And then we went to the more difficult 5 bearing spinner with the replaceable middle bearing that you can change out if it ever messes up. And it spins very nice. I think it turned out good. The thing is with this video, like I said earlier, we're going to do a giveaway. So each one of these bearings, each one of these fidget spinners right here could be yours. In order for you to get one, you just got to follow me on Twitter and tweet me and say, hey, I want to be in the contest. But also make sure you subscribe to the channel, because that means a lot to me. I mean, you don't really have to if you don't want to, but I'd prefer that you did. Just go to Twitter. You got to hit me at twitter.com/AirTV365. Well, I guess you know what? You can even leave a comment down below and say you want to be entered into the contest to win one of these 5 fidget spinners, because just thought about it as I was saying that. Not all of y'all have Twitter, so I know if you're watching this video, you have a YouTube, right? Just say I want to win, and I'm going to tally up all the entries and I'll put them into an automated system, and it'll spit out whoever wins, and I'll let you guys know in a future Wednesday video. That's how you'll find out if you won or not, and I'll contact you directly. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below telling me what you thought about all these awesome fidget spinners, and just stay being cool, because if you're cool, that means that you're subscribed to my channel already, and I don't have to ask you to subscribe, right? We'll see you guys next Wednesday.